If you are like most new or struggling e-commerce brands, then you've probably been told that all you need to do to generate more sales is to copy ads that you see working for competitor brands, because if it works for them, it's going to work for you. You've been asked to join Facebook groups and sign up for academies, pay thousands of dollars to learn the guru's secret strategy to make your ads profitable. Or maybe you have been thinking about hiring an expensive brand agency, but you just don't really have the budget for it. The problem is, though, that the reason why your ads aren't working is not because the strategies that you are using are wrong. It's just because that maybe you don't have a marketing angle that is different enough, or maybe you don't have a marketing angle at all. But if you don't know what makes your brand different, then customers won't know why they should buy from you. So if you are in a niche that you feel is crowded and you are struggling to stand out because you don't have that distinguishing edge that makes you different, then you gotta watch this video, because for you to generate more sales, you need to figure out your unique marketing angle to get your customers' attention. Because your customers are being bombarded with ads and messages and are also jumping between different devices. So their attention span is really, really, really low. And the faster you get in front of them with a message that is easy to remember and relevant to them, the easier it is for you to generate sales. And the only way to close fast is to stand for one thing that they can remember, because a confused mind will never buy. I see lots of brands out there trying different angles and messages, but you really want to avoid doing that because it's brand damaging more than anything. You're pulling your customers in different directions and they just don't know what to remember you for. You want your customers to hear a word or a term and then think of your brand. This is how you become known for one thing, and people start to associate your brand with that word or that term. So this is exactly what big brands that are successful are doing. They have figured out their unique marketing angle, and then all they're doing is repeating this message across their marketing materials. For example, what comes to your mind when you think of a big red soft drinks company? Coca-Cola. What comes to your mind when you think of a tissue brand? Kleenex. So you want to be known for one thing. But yet many e-com brands I've spoken to, they are afraid to only pick one thing because they're worried that they are excluding people and losing out on sales if they are limiting themselves. But the opposite is actually true, because if you stand for many different things, you stand for nothing in your consumer's mind. And just imagine like your consumer's day, they're experiencing information overload, and it's already hard for them to remember things, so they won't remember a complex message or a complicated marketing angle. The easier your marketing angle is, the better, because in your customer's mind, you can only stand for one thing. And to figure out that one thing that you stand for, you need to figure out your USP, which is your unique selling proposition. And you've probably know that you need to have a USP, but maybe you don't know what your USP is, or you don't know how to find it. Maybe you have Googled how to find my USP and found a gazillion articles and blog posts giving you a bunch of questions, and you answer them, but you just don't know how to tie it back to your brand and really weave it into your marketing message. 90% of e-commerce stores don't know their USP. And many brands start out thinking that they will figure out their USP eventually, but the opposite is true, because the earlier you decide what you stand for, the faster you will start to mean something in your customer's mind. Hi, I'm Chris, and I worked for global brands in some of London's top advertising agencies. And I worked on over hundreds of brands. And I remember when I started working for these big brands, I used to think that a USP was something mystical that the strategy team came up with. But after working for so many brands and really dissecting their strategy, talking to numerous e-com brands, I started to notice a pattern all of successful brands have in common. And I've put it together in a product to help you find your USP for your e-com brand in 10 minutes or less. It's called the 10-minute USB blueprint. It's an editable Google spreadsheet where I explain to you 3 simple steps how you can find your USP. And I'll also give you an example spreadsheet of real examples to help you understand it even better. And I give you a template for you to fill in your own answers, which will guarantee help you to find your USP. I believe that finding your USP doesn't have to be this mystical process that only a few can do. I believe you can find it if you have the right approach and the right strategy, because nobody knows your brand better than you do. You don't need to hire an expensive brand strategist or a digital marketing guru because you know your brand the best. So all you need is the right framework. This 3-step process helps you to crystallize your brand's USP and your unique marketing angle by eliminating everything else that it isn't. Finding your USP can be incredibly simple, and I will show you how to do it on one Google spreadsheet. So who is this for? This is for you. If you are a new e-com brand who wants to get their messaging right, you want to get your marketing message right from day one so that you know exactly what differentiates your brand and how you can stand out in a crowded online space. This is also for e-commerce brands who have been around for a while, but you're still struggling to figure out what is different about your brand. And every day you try to sit down and write ad copy or content, you're going over these questions again, like what do I actually stand for? What's different about me? And you're feeling insecure around it because you haven't been able to crack it. My system will help you to feel confident again in your message and to understand how to position your brand differently once and for all. And this is also for you if you have been running a brick and mortar business, but due to the current economic climate, you feel like now is the right time for you to go online and start your own e-commerce brand. But you're realizing that so far you have been relying on customers walking into your store from the high street, so you never had to worry about figuring out your USP or all the marketing stuff, and you're starting to realize that the online space is different, and because you don't have a digital footprint, you don't know how to position your brand. This 10-minute USP blueprint will help you figure out what is different about your brand and how to bring what you had in an offline space into the online world. And it's really going to help you if you have a store selling multiple products and this has been keeping you from nailing your brand message because you just don't know how to combine different products under one umbrella thought. This blueprint will also help you figure out how you can position your brand. And it's also for e-com entrepreneurs who feel that they have nothing really to say about their product. You feel like your store, your brand isn't really that different, but you know you need an edge. You need a marketing angle, but you just don't really know what there is to say. So I will guide you through a set of questions that will help you figure out which area you can position your brand in, that you have something to say that is relevant to your customers. This is for you if you have been spending a lot of money on ads without seeing any return. And this is also for e-commerce brands if you feel that your social media is stalled, it's messy, you're scrambling around with your content, you're just pulling in different directions and you don't really know what your angle is to position your brand and how to market your brand on a daily basis. This system will help you. It will help take the second guessing out of whether your product or concept is good enough. It will give you the confidence back that you have a unique product, and it will give you the clarity and confidence in your unique marketing angle. So if you download my product and you're not happy with your purchase, if you feel like this doesn't really help you, then no problem. Let me know what is missing for you and why it's not working. And if you want your money back, I'll happily give you your money back. And if you do like the product, then just leave me a good review because that will help other e-com brands find a USP as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. You can find my email at the bottom of this page or the next page, and I will happily answer all your questions. I hope to see you inside the 10-minute USP blueprint, and have a great day.